In this video, I started out with $0, a lawnmower, and a truck, and now I have the challenge of building a profitable landscaping business from scratch. But there's a twist. I only have a year to do it. This is season 2, so will I make it big or will I go broke? Stay tuned to find out. And if you guys enjoy content like this and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and drop on a like helps too. Anyway, let's go build a business. Well, boys, it's another day, another dollar back out here on the landscaping business. We got almost $50,000 sitting in the bank account at the moment. Pretty dang good. Not gonna complain about that, but I've been doing some thinking. For a landscaping business, do I really need a crew cab long bed pickup? Don't get me wrong, it's a really nice truck and I absolutely love this thing, but is it really necessary? I'm thinking it would be way more practical to get like a single cab long bed, maybe something with a flatbed. I'm not too sure yet. I gotta find a truck to, of course, buy. But in the meantime, I'm gonna put this truck up for sale. I'm gonna try not to drive it too much because you don't want to put a whole lot of miles on a truck you're planning to sell. But nevertheless, we've got some jobs this morning. No jobs in the city though. Bit strange. Most of them are actually right close to us. In fact, both of them are right down the road. So we're gonna get to work on those. So if y'all remember, when I bought this property, I took out a $10,000 loan because I didn't quite have all the cash to buy the property outright. But the bank is kind of calling in on that loan. So we're gonna have to get that paid here sooner than later. I have the money to pay for it at the moment, but I want to try to save that for a little bit longer in case something comes up, some opportunity or something. You never know. It's always good to have a little extra cash, but it would be nice to have that loan paid off. That way I have no debt whatsoever and I don't risk losing the business. But who knows? Maybe I'll just get the loan paid off and we'll be better off that way. So this is client number 1 for the day. They're just literally right down the road from my house. You can see my house right there. This is a quick little job, 250 bucks. Real easy money. I'll never understand why people let their lawns get so long before calling us, because then it just takes longer. Lucky for me, I got the Skag now, so it makes things a little bit easier than when I was using the Craftsman. That thing would bog down so dang bad, but this Skag seems to be able to handle it pretty dang good. That and it is cutting time off our jobs like crazy. I can rip with this thing. You know, one day if I get a super big property of my own with like a super big nice lawn, I'm just gonna go and stripe up the lawn, you know, put cool designs in it. Just make it like super nice. I mean, by that time I should be running around with a fully custom Skag mower, you know, just a completely blinged out mower, just ridiculous stuff. All right, front lawn is done. Just got a little bit left on the back here and we are out of here. There we go. Look how much better that looks. Money collected, 250 bucks, and we are all finished up. On to the next job. Man, these jobs couldn't get closer to home if I wanted them to be. Literally, my house is right around that corner. Now, this lawn is a bit bigger. We kind of got to go all the way to back here, which is quite a ways. So this is a $300 lawn. So the guy that actually owns this house, he works at the local trailer dealership. And he said if I ever needed a trailer, I should swing on by. Now, I don't need a trailer at the moment. I'm kind of happy with my little bumper pull there, but who knows? Maybe if I decide to get some bigger equipment, it'd be nice. I would really like a bigger skid steer. The one I have right now kinda sucks. Imagine if I had a cab and air conditioning on this thing. Man, mowing would be so much nicer. Wonder if they make those. A cabbed zero turn. I know there's golf course mowers that are cabbed, but I don't think they're zero turns. I got the front of the yard looking in tip-top shape as usual. Now I just have this absolutely massive piece in the back to take care of. Even with the Skag, this is going to take me a little bit. There we go. Last pass. Oh, I got a little bit by the tree to get here. There we go. Perfect. Just collected my money, $300. Man, 500 bucks for half a day's work? I'll take it. Well, 550, I guess. However, the truck and mower are just about out of diesel, so yeah, this is going to be expensive. Most of my profits are going to go to that. Well, made it into town here. The closest gas station to me is about 30 or so minutes away, which is ridiculous. But this is about to be an expensive bill. $200 later and we got ourselves a full mower and a full truck. Man, these fuel bills do not get any cheaper. Well, just pulling back into the compound here, and since we've got no more jobs planned for today, I'm probably just going to go and maintenance some equipment. I know the mower needs a little bit of work. We're going to get that done, and I'm going to try find myself another truck. Well, something to replace this. Technically a downgrade, but not quite. Well, it is the next day here, bright and early, 7:30 in the morning. I got my truck listed up on Marketplace last night, and I've had quite a few people interested in it. I have a guy coming to look at it at 12 today. But the reason why I'm up so early is because last night I found an absolutely smoking deal on a truck. However, it's a little rough around the edges to say the least. So we're gonna go take a look at it. If I think it's gonna work for what we need, we'll buy it. But for how much the guy wants for it, I think we'll win either way. But if I don't buy it, I'm probably not gonna be able to sell my truck because I gotta have something to drive around. So I'm just pulling up to the guy's house. It should be up here on the left. Yep, there it is. And like I was saying, it looks pretty rough, but hold on, keep an open mind here. We're gonna go look at it and I'll explain my reasonings in a minute. So this is a 2011 Chevy Duramax. It's actually a 3500, but it's a single cab long box and it's looking just a little bit rough. The reason for that is the truck got stolen and vandalized a little bit. You can see there's a little bit of spray paint. Then the guys that stole it drove it into a ditch, got it buried, and left it there. The guy was able to get his truck back, and as far as his ad said, everything is in decent working order. It's got decent amount of miles, nothing too crazy, nothing low, but I guess good for what we need. He only wants $5,000 for it though, which is an absolute steal for a truck like this, even in its current condition. It's got a dent in the bed, it's really dirty at the moment. The paint is looking very rough, but I think this should work for what I need. Again, I know, downgrade compared to the Ford, but all in the name of growing the business. Anyways, I'm gonna go try and make a deal and hopefully we can get it done. I don't know if it's gonna fit on my trailer though. It should, but I guess we'll see if we buy it. Title is in hand and truck is mine for $5,000. He had 4 other people coming to look at it after me, so I jumped on it. I didn't even try to deal with him there, because if I didn't buy it, somebody else would have. Not quite able to fit it on the trailer, but kind of close. This'll work. Let's get this thing back to the compound. All right, so it's been a couple hours here. I got the Chevy in the shop. I've already ordered a bunch of new parts for it. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm not leaving it like this. So first things first, new tires, new suspension, grill guard, new lighting, new mirrors, because I hate these type of mirrors. And I already made a deal with the guy on Facebook Marketplace to do a partial trade for this bed for a flat bed with boxes with obviously a good amount of cash on my end. I'm gonna repaint the cab, upgrade the rear end a little bit for better towing, and I think this should be a perfect little work truck. That's what I'm hoping at least, and for a very modest budget. Anyways, it is 12, so the guy should be showing up here any minute now to come pick up the Ford. The only thing is I'm not gonna have a vehicle in working order for the next 5 or so days, which is not gonna be ideal. Well, the truck is gone, and this is the most amount of money we have ever had in our account, $70,000. That's a lot of money, man. And now I'm just left with this piece of junk. Well, we'll see if we can make it nice. All right, so it's the next day here. I'm doing paint and body work on the Chevy right now. I've got it all tore down, and I got a call this morning of a guy who had a lawn mowing job. Now, I've been putting off all the other lawn mowing jobs just because I've been trying to get this truck done, and I didn't really have anything else booked, and I was like, sorry, man, can't make it out right now. My truck's down, just can't make it out to the job. And he's like, man, I got a really big property. I got a family gathering coming up, and I need it mowed ASAP. And I was like, well, how big's the property? And he said really big. So he told me the amount he wanted mowed. I was like, all right. I gave him a ridiculous quote of $2,000, which is ridiculous for how much he needs mowed. And he was like, done. And I'm like, well, crap. This is not good. Now, his place is only about 10, 15 minutes away from here. And technically speaking, I could drive the zero turn, but the zero turn is kind of slow in that department of just driving down the road. But you know what isn't terribly slow? That's right, the good old lawn tractor. So I've had dumb ideas, and then I've had really dumb ideas. This just might be one of the dumbest. We're gonna attempt to make it out to his property, one way or another. I mean, $2,000 to mow a lawn, you can't turn that down. The John Deere is working though, so we may just be all right. Now, we're not breaking any land speed records here, but I think we're doing all right here. At least I have trailer hookups. It'd suck if I had no lights. Well, would you look at that? We made it. The old John Deere did it. So yeah, this property is pretty dang big. It's mostly the laneway that's just super long and it's gonna take a while, but I ain't gonna turn down that much money, so we're getting this done one way or another. Besides, it pays for a good portion of my new truck. So we're getting the back of the property done first here because there's not actually a whole lot. But after we finish this, we'll get going on the front laneway there, and that'll probably take the longest, but shouldn't be too bad. I mean, for $2,000, you can get a half-decent used lawnmower. Not anything crazy like the Skag, but still. But hey, if you don't want to do it, I guess you're going to pay someone else. I just happen to be that someone else. Well, the entire back part of the lawn here is finished, and I cannot imagine doing this with the Craftsman. That would have taken forever, and it probably would have not cut that great since this grass is super tall. That thing did not do well in tall grass. As much of a pain in the butt it is to mow this whole driveway, I gotta say, it's actually pretty cool. Well, it looks cool at least. He had like one of those Ventrac lawnmowers with like a 72-inch deck. That'd make the job go by pretty quick. And that is another job done. I feel kind of bad charging this guy $2,000 for this job, but hey, he accepted the price. This has got to be like the most unprofessional thing to show up to a job towing a lawnmower with a garden tractor. That is just something else. But who cares, because we got $2,000 more in our bank account. It's probably the most amount of money we're going to have for quite a while. Now I just got to put on back to the compound there. That'll take about 45 minutes or so. We're going so dang slow. Oh well, what are you going to do? So it's been a couple more days here. I have been working day and night to finish this Chevy, but it's finally done, and I think it's been well worth the work and the money. Because this don't even look like the same truck anymore. Check this out. Dang, it looks good. Let me pull this thing outside. There, now we can see it better out in the sun. So if you remember, the bed on this thing, not in the best condition, so I swapped it with a brand new, to me, CM bed. It's got toolboxes on it, gooseneck hitch, the whole 9 yards. I did brand new suspension, beefed up the rear end a little bit so it could haul trailers a little bit better. Brand new tires, full straight piped exhaust. A brand new paint job with a Harbor Freight paint gun. It actually turned out not too dang bad for what it is. New ranch hand grill guard, all new lights, and a front plow mount for the winter because I plan to do some snow plowing. But I think it's safe to say we built ourselves the ultimate little lawn care truck. The only other thing I want to do is add a little slip tank up here, but I couldn't find one on a marketplace right now, so I'm kind of waiting on that. But in total, for all the upgrades, I only spent $7,000. That brings us to $65,000. So all in all, we're only into this truck for $12,000. I think we're doing pretty dang good. Also, since we got a good amount of cash, I have went ahead and paid off our remaining balance on our loan, which was $10,000. So we now have no more debt, but there's one more thing I gotta buy to make this whole setup complete, and we're gonna go pick it up. Check it out, brand new to me, Gator tilt deck. This cost us $10,000, bringing us to $45,000. I ended up getting a smoking deal on this trailer for what it is. I just realized I sold my blue Ford with a full tank of diesel. That sucks. That was expensive. Anyways, this thing should be a little bit nicer for hauling the skid steer or other equipment if we decide we want to get some bigger stuff down the road. This thing should be able to haul it all, no problem. And with the single cab long box, we should be able to get in places a lot easier versus the crew cab long box. And actually, with the rear suspension upgrades, this thing can tow more than that Ford, which is even better. But man, I cannot wait to put this setup to work. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of the new setup in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe, and goodbye.